Uko NPP man, one of the big men, the rising star, former parliament, chair of the finance committee, lawyer Okanke Central, Patrick Yabuama, Eswakasa. NPP decision where the ama normally cat moves on we din pekasa ubie kasa na in an explosive. When is explosive na explosive. Wakanti interview on point of view o city na nsem ni bia waka no ne minimum we bre discuss wa nsem ni bia waka na no pay me sure some people for betu ogu no so e be di na tempo because papa na kasa wakasa no one of the new faces I say obia penasem was ankrofo no more cross carpet appeal no NDC ni penasem NPP ni penasem because of the way or yen politics no na nsem ni bre so waka no me de me hu ni say new de but your politics in baby NPP gina sesi ya na mo mpe no kre no o be di natem di enti na make asa me de brewa abehu I critical knowledge and message so be subscribe e de ama mo subscribe click be notification no me the video be etuma obehu then aba ne aba nyina ne NPP so be be friend the top down approach say National Executive Council ne so benya to flag bearer ne de ani wie na so ma koto e form of no na national regional constituency ni polling station elections no na Patrick Bawumia chena dream ho Bernard Busano no kan say Bernard ye nyan kwala asa o general secretary no te party native no sabi o me start here politics na onye politics ade no mo ye me see be good party no.
I've been told, but I think I interviewed the general secretary here. One of the things I heard was that sometimes you need to stop the war of attrition, and I suspect they feel that there are too many elections. All these levels of elections will further divide the party, and because the party is already divided, if you meant it by choosing the leader, those at the bottom have no reason to fight because they will all have to rally behind the leader. That's the logic. I'm not saying I agree with the logic, but that's my understanding of the logic.
I've been in this business way before the general secretary. I'm telling you with all due respect. I was in Sunyani for the election of President Kufuor. The contestants at the time, Malik Alasan Yakubu, J.H. Mensah, J. Kufuor, Nana Kufuor-Addo, Kufuor Akufo-Addo, Kodua, and co. Big boys in the party. They all respected the will of the Congress that elected President Kufuor because they put in place the right measures and everybody saw the transparency in the process. And they respected the party's choice. My view is that if you don't take care and you purport to rush the process and somebody feels the process was skewed one way or the other because the electoral college was not reformed to reflect the times, how can you call that person to come and join a campaign wholeheartedly? That must be a source of worry to any of the aspirants who are declaring or who have declared so far, that you need to carry the entirety of the party, the spirit and the body of the party behind you. I'll give you one example. When Nana Akufo-Addo beat Alan Chemartin in 2014, Alan Chemartin followed Nana Akufo-Addo, President Kufuor-Addo,
yes,
excuse my language,
yes,
across the country, and was even the one introducing him before he spoke on the campaigns, because he knew the outcome of the elections was fair. That was under
this is 2014.
Yeah, Foko and Japan. That gave us that big victory because there was transparency in the process leading up to the election of parliamentary candidates and also the flag.
Yes, so that is Patrick Yabuama. Obi no, and I say was shut the current NPP now. Leader be in. There's a leadership vacuum within the NPP. No besre. Papa Kufuor and President Kufuor Motiase. Nipa miuni NPP na mambo ye president amoye ye no 2-term president. Enti party no baby e jiren esa mo kasa ho.
As a party, we've gone through reforms, we've gone through changes that led to the election of President Kufuor in Legon and also in Sunyani, and subsequently he became the president of Ghana. This party has produced 2 presidents. We are fortunate to have 2 sitting former presidents alive. I'm calling on them to call for some action and order in the party, because this party produced them. If we are going through this turmoil, we ask that they call people round the table and have a heart-to-heart chat with them.
Yes, the patrol must say Papa Kufuor ne President Kufuor mo make asa ho na party ni leaders. Ade me na mko kan ya me kra na maka mo madu matempa nti nya news. NPP party mi si leader bi omumuwom. So one of the fine brains within the NPP. Yadena ka ho. Patrick Bom was a lawyer new abin yesu onya flag bearer ne kra bi obedi. No we no. And o ka say ade NPP ye nyina no mra fini say 2024 election e kire say Ghana fo nyimu ni, because Ghana fo etimi ma 169 seats with almost a million different 2016 in 8 years. Ama mo just what 88 seats. Malusu by close to 1.7 million. Now, Mahama, I crawl back the deficit of 1 million. I been positive of 1.6, almost 2.6 million votes in 8 years. There's a party no GDNim. Na GDNim ntia, a party na say to the book. Na ye ne niyama no mo rush say as a Ghana vote GDA bi mamo.
But I've stated on various platforms that I'm against this approach of selecting a flag bearer when we haven't fixed the party. We need to fix the party. We need to fix the party to make the party attractive again, to be able to win a general election. That is why I said we need a very organized and disciplined party to elect a president, not a flag bearer. Because those declaring to be flag bearers and what have you, what are we standing on? What are we going to be standing on to win a general election? What some of my people forget is that what led to our abysmal performance was the lack of public trust in our party. And we need to build that public trust and confidence again. Because it cannot be that you go into an election and produce this result and all you are interested in is to electing a flag bearer. Nobody does that.
Yes. And you say until say mu be gain the trust of Ghanaians no. Ni mu ye nyira nko be because Ghana fo nyimu ni as NPP. Omu nyimu ni. No we no. Ana o ka say onu ye MP. My kokwe report yi onim na ewum. Na ne shane sokura na say party a wo pesa wo san call in less election. Ne ma wo lose the previous election officially. Onim na ne twa na wo ba kokura na say MPs na nkasa no the caucus of parliament no. Eso mo ye report. Amu pedwumekuo bi omo te research ase no mo ye report na etiase 169 to 88. Eden ne see NPP bedu za 169 ene bedu saying 169 about 137 those are right. They must know all these things. What happened for the party to get to that level? And no also start researching as a NPP.
We as a caucus ought to also conduct an in-depth analysis of our performance as a caucus. We need to engage a group like ISA or Institute of Democratic Development or CDD to also assist us, because it's in our general interest to know. Because you can't offer prescription to somebody when you haven't done the diagnostics well. And that is where we are lacking. For us to jump and determine that, oh, National Council has the right to fix the venue and date to select a flag bearer. I think, with the greatest of respect, just putting the cart before the horse.
I'm a bit surprised to hear that the leadership of Parliament has not seen the content of the report.
Nobody.
So, was the issue of the National Council's meeting and their subsequent decision discussed with the parliamentary leadership?
The party steering committee has the elected executives of the party, and the minority leader attends on behalf of the caucus. He's one person who attends. The steering committee. Their decisions are sent to the National Executive Committee. Then, National Executive Committee reports to the National Council. That is the procedure. Then some of the decisions cannot be taken by National Council, ought to be taken by conference. You understand? So that is the hierarchy within the organizational structure of the New Patriotic Party. But I'm saying that if we want to win an election, say in 2028, a lot more has to be done than fixing dates and announcing venues for the election.
We've had some.
Yes. Now finally, NOC 2024 ne course nyina na na ne wan say NPP for ehu ye. O se ne course nyina just amanti Ghana for.
2024 was a different election across the country. We had won the 2016 election with a margin of about 1 million votes and about 169 constituencies. Fast forward 2020, we won the election with over 500,000 votes and 137 seats, plus an independent seat. So I believe God was talking to the NPP at the time, and we should have listened to the good people of this country and put in place the right measures and policies to make the people happy. Ashanti region was grumbling, Eastern region was grumbling, Greater Accra. There were issues that we should have listened to. Party folks were calling for a major reshuffle. People have stayed in office for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years. DC is same, some chief executives and what have you. But you realize that it did not happen. And the elections told us that if we had listened, we would have done far better than we did.
Yes. Man take Ghana for. Intina mo we from no. Me papa me penasem. So me de bo mo kasa ateni enim ni za na be check no. Penasem pa. I think so these are very salient points. One reason. Na MPP do ma dwen fa hu yi amun sa brantie no. Wakasa yi me hope say as usual. Krofo yi bi om de bia no bia be kasa bi di na tem no nya sa. Ehia sa nkofo e be kasa in our political enterprise because aya na ma feel the notimus intellectual e no osoro kakra. E be da o ma se. Na me da na seso akasa. I hope some people beti omuti e be bo mo party no. Omunti enso a e yo mo masama. So that is that. I'll give you another video on the NPP in my next video. Make sure to subscribe. Remember subscribe here. Click the bell notification and make the video be atuma obehu no etimi ahwe bi.